Waiting for a life partner, waiting for Mr. Right, it's never easy. And I should know because I waited for 39 years of my life. I didn't get married until I was 40. And I've used every opportunity open to me to use my own story to inspire others. Because this is something millions of women across the world is struggling with. It's not easy. You're watching this video because you can relate one way or the other. Either you are in waiting, you've been waiting for a while, to find that one person that you will call your own. That person that you can finally plan things with, that can be a companion to you, that can love you for the rest of your life, that will always have your back no matter what, that you can raise children with. That one person, just one person. It's one person. It shouldn't be so difficult, but it is. That is the realities of a lot of women across the world. And it's a very sensitive subject because it involves a whole lot of emotions. That phase of my life, I would say, is still the most challenging phase of life that I've had to date. When you are ready to get married, you feel you are ready emotionally, mentally, and otherwise, the wait is very, very difficult. Like I said, it involves a whole lot of emotions. For me, it was one of the loneliest times of my life. And it's also one of the times that I've questioned God the most. I would think, I'm not perfect. Oh God, I don't know why I'm getting emotional talking about this. That's personal. Anyway, I would question God. I would think, I'm not perfect. I know. But when it comes to living a good versus a bad life, I felt that I wasn't doing badly either. I didn't take what didn't belong to me. I tried to live my life by the rule of do unto others what you want them to do to you. I never double dated. I never thought of evil about anyone. So I wondered, I questioned God. That's one of the times I've struggled with my spirituality a lot. That why? What am I doing wrong? Some of the people that I know personally that have lived a very questionable lives, they've all met someone. They've all gotten married. They're all raising children. Why me? What am I doing wrong? Why has God stopped answering my prayers? I mean, then I wouldn't even want to say a prayer anymore because I felt, what was the point? You know, some people might think, oh, it's just a man. Some will feel that way, but it's not just a man. There is a reason God created Eve for Adam. There is a reason God wanted each person to have a companion. He knew life could be lonely sometimes. He knew everyone needed someone. That's why even animals have male and female. And animals, male have a way of finding female. Female have a way of finding male. It is how things are supposed to be. So do not feel bad if you crave for it. And some people are thinking, why have so much emotions about it? It is only natural. And then you talk about the society we find ourselves. The society we find ourselves, especially if you are a Nigerian, they make you feel less of. You know, she's not married, she's single, so she doesn't count. I remember a time that I started to make some money for myself and I wanted to rent an apartment, a bigger apartment. And I got a place I liked. I got the forms to fill and the agent was telling me that I have to be married for me to be able to rent the place. So it didn't matter if I had the money, like if I can easily just bring the money out and say this is my rent and I can maintain it as the years goes by. That wasn't what the landlady was concerned about. What the landlady was concerned about was that I had to be married. The person she wanted was somebody that had to be married. So I had to lie. I said, yes, I have a fiance. He's abroad now though. So we're just looking for a place for me to stay until he comes and we'll get married in December. That's what I said. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. And they gave me a form to fill. And then I wasn't even in a relationship, not to talk of having a fiance. People will find an excuse to insult you with that status. No, you are single. Go and marry. Ashawo. You will never get a husband to marry. People will mock you. Sometimes even family members. Fortunately, I didn't have those kind of family members. Everybody knew to stay out of my business. You know, my dad was the only one that would once a while be like, so what's going on? I mean, you've not brought someone home. And he had one wrong mindset then. My dad said to me once that you are single because you are looking for a rich man. Because you are a beautiful girl. I know it's not that you are not meeting men. You are too picky. You are looking for a rich man. And I looked at him and laughed. Like, you know, when you feel like this person doesn't get it. He didn't get it because if he knew who I was, he would know that I wasn't even that kind of person. I wasn't that kind of a person. I was the type of person that couldn't even ask somebody I was dating for money. I had too much pride. I had too much ego. I couldn't always bring myself to asking the person I was dating for money. That was why during my time of dating, I would make sure that the person I'm with is generous. And if the person wasn't generous, the relationship wouldn't be able to last very long. Once I complained once and I complained twice, and you just expect to take and take and take and never give. You know, maybe your guy visits your place, you cook. Every time he comes, you cook. He never drops a penny. He's coming on his way to visit you. He never brings anything. Something like that. At some point, even someone with so much ego will have to speak up. So I wasn't even that kind of a person to go after a man because he has money. I mean, it doesn't mean that money doesn't have its place. It has. I would never recommend that anybody marries a man that is jobless. But I wasn't going about looking for somebody who was rich. So the society will put these things on you. They will tell you that you are too picky. Nobody understands. Everybody just thinks they know why a mature single lady is single. It is because something is wrong with her. It is because she's picky. It is because, no. Something has to be wrong with her. It is because she has useless herself. She has done a whole lot of abortions. They've probably never seen you with a girl. She has useless herself. That's why no man wants her now. You know, so that mockery every time was a regular thing. It's a regular thing among a lot of people in waiting. As if all I was dealing with wasn't enough, I had some of the worst neighbors ever. At this point in my life, I was living in a compound that had 16 rooms, I think, up to 16 rooms. And I was staying in one of the rooms. And it was a very crowded compound. I never told anyone my age there. I never, messed with anyone. I never went out of my way to look for anyone's trouble. In fact, I was always indoor because then I was blogging. So my morning and my nights, I work at night, I sleep in the morning. I wasn't someone that entertained visitors. I like my space. I like to be by myself. But I'm a very playful person and I try to engage a little with my neighbors, but nothing, just one or two of them, nothing out of my way to go and be extra friendly or anything like that. And I didn't tell them my age, but they knew I was single. Some of them suspected that I was much more old enough to get married. I mean, they could maybe look at me and tell, I don't know. But these people, some of them felt like they had something over me. It's like somebody deliberately looks for your trouble just to tell you something. Something they are thinking that they would not want to say because there's no ground to say it. So they deliberately create trouble with you so that they can then use that thing to laugh at you. They feel like they have something over me because, I can just shame her and tell her she's single. Ooh, you are single. Go and marry. Ashawo. This is where they will be coming and they will be sleeping with you and you will not get married and all that. Me, there were many years that went by that I wasn't even in a relationship. So who had a day? And what do you mean? But they will say things. This one will insult me. This one will insult me. This one will find an excuse. I won't let you walk all over me because I'm afraid of confrontation. I am afraid of confrontation, but I am also somebody that speaks up. So I will speak up. And they will say, I tell them that's the only insult you have over me. And all these people were living in one room. Some of them were married with children. Some of them were not even married. They got pregnant and started living with the guy. But they feel that they have something over you. They are living with a man now. You are not married now. The way they tried to mock me was just... I was like, why? What did I do to you? So that just added to the pain of waiting and me questioning God and saying, why am I in this situation? And even though all that cost me a lot of emotional turmoil, I didn't let it deter me from where I was going because I was always indoor. Nobody knew what I was doing. Nobody knew that I was chasing my goals. I was trying to achieve a certain kind of life. Nobody knew all that. In fact, some of them didn't even further their education more than secondary school. So how can you even reason with this type of people? You want to now come out and start exchanging words. Yeah, sometimes I did that. But I was the one that knew my plans. I was the one that knew my goals. I was the one that knew what I was chasing. And that was how I was able to deal with that time of my life. What of the fake smile we have to wear in public, whereas our heart is breaking? We wear a fake smile when someone puts to bed and we go to visit them. Inwardly, we're wishing this could be us. We have a fake smile when somebody is getting married. Even though we are genuinely happy for the person, there's this sadness mixed with it that, why can't this be me? I would behave to people then that, all is well, and you could never tell something was wrong with me emotionally. But indoor, I would ask God at my quiet time, that, God, what did I do wrong? What are you punishing me for? I'm saying all this to show that I understand. I've been there. I was there for a very, very long time. And when you are there feeling all those emotions, you forget to see that that period of waiting can be a blessing to you if you utilize it properly. And that's what I did. But I didn't realize how much of a blessing it was until I was eventually married and I was living my life. And I think back and say, wow, I'm glad that I had that time. I'm glad that I waited for so long, because my life would have been very, very different now. Very, very different. How is it a blessing? I'll tell you. So first, it allowed me to grow financially. It allowed me to build a business for myself. And maybe God allowed the wait to be so long because it also took me so long for my business to grow to a place where I could earn well from it. I started my work from home business, I think, between 2009 and 2010. And I didn't become financially stable until 2017. So you can see how many years is that? Like 7 years it took me. And I believe that if I was in a marriage already, I probably would not have that patience to keep going. And the husband, whoever would have been my husband, probably would not have the patience to allow me, because now there would be this second person that had an opinion about my life, what I'm doing, if I couldn't contribute, because there was a period where my eldest sister was the one sending me monthly allowance so I could focus on my work from home business and try to grow it so that it could start paying me. So imagine if I was under a husband and this was going on, and these days in most homes the man and the woman have to be contributing financially for the family to not struggle so much. So would whoever I would have married be patient with me to grow my business without interference? I don't know. Would I have even had that patience? Because you know, when you are in a place of desperation and you need money, you need it very fast, and another person is pressuring you to say, we need money, we need money, this your online business is not making anything, please just go and get a job and forget about this one. Would I have been where I am today? I don't think so. So waiting for so long allowed me the opportunity to invest in myself. You know, it allowed me the opportunity to even discover myself. When I finally met my husband, that was in 2014, I was 33 years old. We met, we liked each other, but it didn't go anywhere. You know, when you think that, when you know that a guy likes you, you like the guy. But then the guy is not forthcoming with any form of, I want a commitment with you and all that. So you just fade into friendship. When I met him, I was 33 years old. And I thought that I was ready. But looking back, I wasn't. One, I was still struggling financially. Two, I had attitude problem. Yes, I'm that person that can be honest with herself, to tell herself the truth. I had attitude problem. Maybe it was because I'd been by myself for so long. I'd fend for myself for so long. I feel like I had no guy or whoever to support me through that journey. You know, nobody stuck with me or anything like that. So my patience with guys was so low. You know, if you say 1, I'll say 10. You get. And then if I was in a relationship, I could miss my guy and all that. But then when he's around, 1 hour, 2 hours, before you know, I'm bored. You know, I'm thinking, okay, you should start going. I need my space back. I was very, very comfortable in my space and didn't want anybody in my space. In fact, that period, I would always say that I would prefer to marry somebody who worked offshore so that they wouldn't always be in my space so much. So they could be around for 2 weeks, and another 2 weeks I'll have my space to myself and all of that. You see those line of thoughts. You see those characters. They were things that could not work in a marriage. And I needed time to be able to discover that, to be able to work on myself, to be able to work on my tolerance level. Today, I've still not perfected my tolerance. I could flare up easily. I could talk harshly. But compared to where I was, I have greatly worked on that. And my husband can tell, because when we became friends, we were friends for many, many years. And he knew that about me. And comparing me now with the person I was then, the person I was then couldn't do well in a marriage. So that time allowed me to work on myself, to even discover certain things about myself, to ask myself what I really wanted, you know, and to work on it. You can't ask for something that you're not. You cannot. So that time is really a time of blessing. In fact, sometimes I still wish that I took more advantage of that my waiting period. Like do some traveling. You know, get women together and do some traveling. I see someone now online that organizes that for women every now and then. And I wish I could join. But now I have a family, I have a husband, I have a toddler. Am I just going to come and say, oh, okay, well, bye, I'm traveling? But when you have that time for yourself, that your waiting period, you could do whatever. You could travel anytime. You could actually wake up, not have something planned, that day all of a sudden you have the plan and just take off. Nobody questions you. That's one of the blessings that this waiting period have. And this video is really to encourage you to not dwell on your situation so much that you become bitter, that it feels like when you see somebody getting married, you are sad, or you let this thing overwhelm you so much that you are always depressed. Somebody could tell from outside that you are always depressed. You could not tell that I was going through anything when I was in waiting, because I always had a smile on my face. In fact, it got to a point where I could truthfully say that I don't think I want to get married. In fact, things didn't change between my husband and I like he was my best friend then. Things didn't change for us and become romantic until a period where I decided that actually I don't even think I want to get married. I just want to be by myself. Maybe I'll figure out a way to have a baby and just be by myself. I mean, there's IVF. Maybe I could just go do IVF. Those were thoughts that will come to my head then, I'm not saying go do IVF, but I'll be lying if I say those are not natural, things you think about when you are in a desperate situation like that. I mean, you think about it that you don't want to lose in two ways. If I won't get a husband, I definitely want to have a child. You think about things like that. What I'm trying to say is that I didn't get married. I didn't find the one for me until I made peace with being by myself. Until I accepted that it was okay to be by myself. Until I accepted that I was enough. I wasn't waiting for a man to come and complete me, sort of. I was thriving in business. I was acquiring assets. I was planning life for myself by myself. Telling myself that I was enough and I could achieve everything I wanted. It was not until then that things all of a sudden started happening in terms of getting a life partner. So my advice with this video, if you are someone in waiting, or you know someone in waiting, or you have a friend in waiting, if you are not one, there are people around you that you care about that are one. And please, I encourage that you send them this video to give them hope. I use my story as inspiration for people all the time, that sometimes you don't have to force certain things. They will happen when they happen. Sometimes, maybe, just maybe, God allows certain things to happen so that we can find ourselves, so that we'll be better prepared. And I'll tell you that I've had to wait for all the things that I wanted in life. Nothing that I wanted in life came to me at the time I wanted it. Not getting married, not becoming financially independent, not having a child. Those things were all delayed for me. But now when I look back, I would say they came at the right time. After I got married, I didn't get pregnant until 9 months later. And when you get married at 40, you just want to get pregnant now. Oh, let it happen now. Because the medical experts tell us every day that conceiving for a woman over 35, our chances are very, very slim. So when I got married, I was desperate to get pregnant. Oh, let it happen. The disappointment, the feeling I felt within that 9 months it took me to conceive, the feeling I felt was probably the same that someone who had been waiting for 10 years felt, because of the desperation. Age is not my side, age is not my side. And if you're someone that have educated yourself about getting pregnant and how all those things work, you would have learned that even though every woman who lay with a man can get pregnant right away, not every woman will. In fact, most women will not. And sometimes there's no biological explanation for it. Delay just happened. Or sometimes maybe the eagerness or the desperation to get it delayed. I don't even know. But then it didn't happen for me until 9 months later. And guess what? After I got pregnant, I was now like, wow, this is perfect time. Because I'm someone that would always advocate that it is better for a new couple to take some time for themselves before bringing kids into it. That's always been my feelings. I think a new couple needed time to get to know themselves too. Even if you've been dating for 5-10 years, it is not the same when you move together and start calling yourself husband and wife and start living your life intertwined like that. Things are bound to come up. You are bound to start to find out certain things you didn't know about each other, and you need time to be able to walk through that. But now when you now bring a pregnancy into it, and with all the hormones going wild when a woman is pregnant, now add that to the tension in the house, it's just going to, that's why they will tell you that the first year of marriage is always the hardest. So I'm someone that advocates that. But because I married so late, I couldn't take my own advice. However, God still allowed it to happen. God still allowed us that time. Because after I got pregnant, I appreciated that 9 months of wait. Oh God, I appreciated it so much. My husband and I, we were already close. We were best friends before we got married. But then we were like, you know, all over each other. We had dealt with some of the struggles we had that naturally comes with, two people bringing their lives together in one place, waking up by each other's side. So we had dealt with all that. So when I got pregnant, it just added to our joy. There was peace in the house and everything. So I'm telling you, see the blessing in waiting. And take this time that you have for yourself, just yourself. The responsibility I have sometimes on my shoulders. I have to worry about my husband. I have to worry about my baby. I have to worry about my business. Now adding YouTube channel to it is a whole lot. So take this time that you have, even though it's not something you wished for yourself. Take it as a blessing and utilize it to the maximum. So that's the message I have for you today with this video. Until the next one. And please take care of yourself and your mental health. Very, very important. Okay? Bye.